What happens when a philosopher begins to doubt everything he knows? When the mind that masters logic suddenly feels lost? Tonight, we journey not into certainty, but into doubt, and from that doubt, faith. This is the story of Al-Ghazali, the man who challenged the philosophers, silenced the skeptics, and reshaped Islamic thought forever. In the depths of medieval Baghdad, a brilliant scholar fell into spiritual crisis, and from the depths of that darkness, he emerged glowing with divine insight. Join us on philosophy journey as we explore the life and mind of Al-Ghazali, the philosopher of doubt and divine light. He was born in 1058 CE in Tars, a city in northeastern Persia, now Iran. His name Abu Hamid Muhammad ibn Muhammad al-Ghazali. Raised in a modest family, Al-Ghazali was orphaned early in life. A local Sabi friend of the family took him in and sent him to study in Nishapur, then one of the most prestigious centers of Islamic learning. There, he studied fiqh, Islamic law, kalam, Islamic theology, logic and philosophy, especially Aristotle and Avicenna. He was known for his sharp memory, logical clarity, and commanding presence. By his mid-30s, he had become a professor at the Nizamiya of Baghdad, the top university in the Islamic world at the time. He had it all: fame, prestige, students, wealth, but inside, he was breaking. Despite his outward success, Al-Ghazali began to question everything. How could he trust reason? Could arguments really lead to truth? What if everything he believed was built on sand? He wrote, I examined my motives and found nothing in them free from selfishness. His doubts grew louder. For 6 months, he suffered physical and spiritual symptoms. He couldn't eat. He couldn't speak in lectures. He was gripped by fear of eternal damnation. Finally, he walked away. He left his career, his wealth, his fame. He claimed he was going on pilgrimage. But he wasn't just going to Mecca. He was searching for truth. For 10 years, Al-Ghazali wandered. He went to Damascus, Jerusalem, Mecca, and Medina. He lived in solitude, in mosques, in caves, in quiet. He fasted, prayed, meditated, and slowly he found clarity. He discovered light that reason could not provide, but which could be felt by the heart. That light, he believed, came through divine intuition and was best expressed through Salvism. He returned to public life later, but never as before. He had changed. Al-Ghazali's most famous philosophical work is Tahafid al-Falasifa, the incoherence of the philosophers. In it, he attacks Avicenna and Farabi, accusing them of going too far in applying Greek logic to define truth. He doesn't reject reason, but he argues that reason alone can never reach God. He says, the mind is like a scale, it measures weight, but cannot see color. Some of the 20 main points he attacked were the eternity of the world, the denial of bodily resurrection, God's knowledge being limited to universals. He declared that reason has limits, and beyond those limits, we need faith, mystical insight, and revelation. After his mystical awakening, Al-Ghazali wrote his magnum opus, Ihya Ulum al-Din, the revival of the religious sciences. Is not a work of dry logic, but a spiritual guidebook. It covers worship, ethics, social behavior, mysticism, He breeds love with spirituality, author ritual with inner sincerity. It became the handbook of Islamic spirituality for centuries. Al-Ghazali divides knowledge into certain and uncertain. He believes certainty only comes through central experience, rational deduction, divine illumination. But even sensory experience can be deceived, and reason can lead to the contradictions. So he asked, is there a higher way of knowing? Yes, it is the nur, the light of God, shining into the heart. In that light, the soul finds certainty. 12. Trained in law and logic, Al-Ghazali came to believe that Sufism was the truest path to knowing God, but not Sufism as escapism. He wanted a disciplined, orthodox, and ethical Sufism, not extreme mysticism. He wrote, the end of knowledge is to know God. The end of action is to serve Him. Al-Ghazali ideas transformed the Islamic world. He reconciled orthodoxy and mysticism, reduced the influence of rationalist philosophy, inspired later theologians like Farq al-Din al-Razi. In the West, Thomas Aquinas knew his work, though disagreed. In the East, his book Ihya became a spiritual classic, but not all agreed. The great Ibn Rushd later wrote The Incoherence of the Incoherence, defending philosophy and reason, and so a great debate was born. Al-Ghazali walked away from everything and came back with something deeper. He reminded the world that certainty is not just found in logic, but in the stillness of the soul. He showed that doubt is not a weakness, but the first step to awakening. Next time, we meet the man who answered him, Ibn Rushd, the philosopher who defended reason to the end. Until then, let your doubts breathe, let your soul listen, and may the light of wisdom find your heart.